Welcome back to Bobblehead Homestead. I am Jeff. Today is Thursday. I am up at the new place. It is a work day for us. Drew and Lindsay are here. I'll go show you what they're doing here in a minute. But one of the things I need to do is, well, we'll go have a look. We'll get to the outside plumbing next, but my job is to worry about the inside plumbing and where it comes in from the outside. So that black line coming up that was the old service. So we'll be taking that black hose out, and now I got to figure out, and we're running PEX instead of PVC. So I'll need a different fitting to connect to that shutoff valve. And then I will also, you can see where we cut the hot and cold water going to the water heater, and we'll have to reconnect that. So I am in here to figure out what I need to go buy. Drew and Lindsay are working over there. That's where the water meter box is. So yeah, we are working on outside plumbing today. You're gonna have to go to Drew's Lens and watch his videos to see that action. My action was going and buying, spending the money. So on the way here, I stopped and got some stuff that we needed, and then I discovered we needed more stuff. And so I stopped by the water company, and they gave us this sheet here. So, and yeah, sun's in the, but after the meter, you need a, what does it say? A spring-loaded brass check valve, which is this. And then you need a pressure regulator, which is this. And then you need a gate valve, ball valve, shutoff valve. So that meets the water company's requirements. And so yeah, that was the second trip. And now I got to do a third trip because we need another adapter. And then I also need the stuff to connect it inside. It is now Friday, the next day, and filming got cut short yesterday. We were in a rush, had some unexpected things happening, so I just could not do any more filming yesterday. But here I am, back at my new place this morning. So let's talk about how busy my day was yesterday. Man, I woke up 6:30, took care of the chickens. I headed to Sims Building Supplies in Waldron because I needed some plumbing fittings. We'll get into that in a minute. I don't remember what I filmed yesterday, so I'm just going to do a recap. I went to pay for my plumbing fittings and I'd forgotten my wallet. So 20 minutes back home to get my wallet, 20 minutes back to Waldron to pay for it, and they did not have everything I needed. So I headed up here to Boonville and went to S&W Building Supplies, whatever, to get that last PEX connector I needed. And then I stopped by the water company and picked up, oh, there's a paper. They have, oh yeah, when I was at Sims, I was, asking them questions and stuff about, hooking up outdoor water. And they said, didn't you get something from your water company? I'm like, yeah, we did get something. Yeah. So that's why I had to stop by the water company. And so this is all the details on what we needed. So, and of course I didn't read it. So I came out here and I read it, and there was one piece we were missing. The, where's it at on here? Spring-loaded brass check valve. I had everything but that. So yeah, I got out here, I went back into Waldron, and it's about 12 minutes from here to S&W in Boonville, and I got my spring-loaded brass check valve, and I got out here, and so by that time it's about noon, and Drew and Lindsay were here, so that was good. And so we started piecing together all the stuff, and there was still another connection that I needed. So we were one connection short. So back into Boonville I went to get that connection, and I also stopped by Walmart. I'll show you that in a minute. I got some, yeah, I'll show you that in a minute. And I picked up pizza at Casey's and came back so we could do that. But in the meantime, before I headed back to Boonville for that trip, the septic water guy called, and he was in the area and wanted to know if he could come by. And yeah, so I was not expecting him until the first week of next year, but he got to me early, so that was good. And what he was doing, he had been out here before, but he, you know, picks the location and maps out where the septic system is going. So he got an idea when he was out here before, but he couldn't do it until my house was here. So once my house got here, I scheduled my appointment with him. But anyway, we were not expecting that. He called about an hour before he got here. And yeah, so luckily he pushed us up on the schedule, and we're gonna walk over here. So yeah, what he does is he does the layout of where your septic system is going. He couldn't do that until the house was here. The house is here now, and we're gonna walk over here, and I'll show you what we were doing this afternoon. We didn't plan on this, and this takes quite a while. So all right, I'll flip you around. All right, you're gonna see these tall white flags. So that kind of maps out, it's going out here. It'll go in this general direction. And then he had to map out the leech lines and, you know, rough estimate of where the D traps are going and all that stuff. So I think that's a D trap. And then the first, we're gonna be running 2 leech lines. One will start right there and one starts right there, and they will be going in that direction. So yep, that's what's gonna be the septic system. And that means a lot of these trees are gonna have to go, or if they don't go, we'll probably kill them when we dig through the roots. So gonna have to move that pile, and that the pine tree is definitely gonna go. We're not sure about that oak. We've already knocked 3 big branches off that oak, so that one may need to go. But anyway, yeah, so we have at least started the process on the septic system. Now, as soon as we start digging on this, we have to call the county health department. And so that's when the county health department will get involved. So yeah, one step at a time. This blue box is my water meter where the water comes into my property. And the original plan yesterday was to start laying pipe. So he's got a little section cut there. And then we need to put the requirements that the water company has near the water box. So you need a check valve. That's to keep the water from backwashing into the water company. You need a check valve, and then you need a pressure thingy. That way you can control the pressure. If it's you know, if the pressure is too high, you can control the pressure. And you also need a shutoff valve there. So there is a shutoff valve in the water meter, but you need to have your own shutoff valve there too. And that has to go into something that you can have access to. So it has to go in some type of box so that, you know, you can take a lid off and access that shutoff valve. All right, so, and then right here you can see some piping, and he dug a little bit trench. I'm gonna put a water hydrant there. There's gonna be a spigot there, so the water line will be coming in. We'll tee it off, and that will go to a spigot there. And all right, so, and Drew and Lindsay, you know, got some time in the afternoon getting this out. There's my water piping, and so they laid that all out so that it's a lot easier to work with once it's straightened out. And so they got that started. And yeah, so down there is the blue box. So we still need to run all the water to here. And then he's been waiting. This is a driveway here. So he's been waiting to dig that up for us to run the water line, because yeah, it makes it easier for me to get over to that storage shed. Anyway, so that was the goal yesterday, was to get all the underground water piping. You can see the water will go through here, and he's already laid a section of it to go up to the house, and we can look at that later. And also right there, it's going to tee off, and he dug the rest of this trench, and it's going to tee off and go. It's going in between the storage shed and the other shed in a box. And then at the back of the storage shed, I'm going to put another spigot. So yeah, we were doing that. Now this is called a rough in, and you have to get all of this done and then call the water company, and they inspect it before you can bury it back up. So all of this has to be done, and then we can call the inspector to come out and inspect it before we buried it back up. So yeah, we'll be waiting on that inspector. Yeah, we'll see how long it takes us to get this done, and then we'll give them a call, and then we'll go from there. And then I think there's 2 more inspections before they turn your water on. And you can work on your septic and your water at the same time, but they aren't going to turn, you know, we can have all the water done, but they're not going to turn the water on until our septic has been approved also. So there's like 4 or 5 more inspections and approvals I'm going to need before they will turn the water on and all that stuff. Now, let's get to today. This trench over here, that's for the electricity. It goes to this electricity pole, and yeah, so what do we need to do? That's cutting off, you know, that cuts off the driveway from the house. So this is a different deal. This is what I'm going to be going into town to shop for today. But the electric company, they'll run the line from the pole up to a service box. Right, we're going to put it not on the house. We're going to put, you know, 2 posts in there and have a panel in between the posts. That's where the the electric meter will go. And then that will be where my 200 amp main disconnect and main breaker will also go on that box. And I believe they'll put my fiber optic on that box also. So we have to have that built and ready to go. And once we've got that built and ready to go, then the electric company will come out, and they'll run their wire to connect it, and then we can bury that wire back in and get access to it. So right now, the electric for electricity, all I'm waiting on is I got to go spend about $1,000 today. So speaking of that, I better stop talking and head into Fort Smith. My phone says I have a half an hour until I get to Fort Smith, so I guess I can yap some more. All right, yeah, finished up my day yesterday. So the septic guy, he didn't finish till 4:30-ish. And yeah, that is late for me. I do not like driving after dark. One of my tail lights is not exactly legal. So I took the back road home, and that took about a half an hour more than usual. So I got home after dark last night, put the chickens to bed, and then I got everybody's water ready for this morning so that I could get up and early and out this morning without having to do everybody's water. So got the chickens taken care of. Then it was time to do research on what to buy today, which I've been doing a lot of. Oh man, I tell you, just having, Yeah, next time, if you don't know what you're doing, get somebody to go shopping with you that knows what they're doing. And yeah, that will save you a bunch of time researching it yourself. Or hey, if you got the money, just hire an electrician to do everything. But yeah, so I was researching all the little pieces I need today, and then yeah, up to bed, up early this morning. So this morning, here's my day so far. I needed chicken feed because I was late yesterday coming home. The feed store closes at 5 o'clock, and I didn't make it there by 5 o'clock. So I had to get chicken feed this morning, and they open at 7 a.m. I was there at 7 a.m. Ready for them to open. Got the chicken feed, went home, took care of the chickens, and headed up to my new place. Dropped off that connector, PEX connector that I needed in case Drew and Lindsay get up there to work again today. They're gonna need that because we're hoping to, you know, get all that plumbing roughed in, and then we can call the inspector and we'll see how long it takes them to come out. But at least we can get that done and make that phone call. So yeah, I wanted to. Well, I had bought that connector yesterday, and I left it in my pocket and took it home with me. So that's my own fault that I had to make another trip up to the new place before I headed into Fort Smith. And so I'm headed into Fort Smith right now. I got to get a bunch of stuff. I guess I can show you. I'm not going to show you while I'm shopping. I don't know what I'm going to do. But I've got 20 minutes. What does my phone say? My phone says 29 minutes. 29 minutes to Home Depot, and I got a line of cars behind me because I got the cruise control set at 55. So all right, I'll catch you in a minute. This trip to Home Depot was a complete waste of my time. Holy cow, is that frustrating. All right, so I spent hours last night shopping on the Lowe's in Russellville, the Lowe's in Fort Smith, the Home Depot, making sure that they had what I needed so I didn't have to make 200 trips today to different stores to buy everything like I did yesterday for the plumbing. So today was electrical, and I already have the meter box. The electric company gave me a meter box. Then you need a 6-inch connector from the meter box to the main breaker box. So according to their website, they had that. And it even tells you what aisle and what bay the part is in. I get here, I go looking for it. I can't find it. It's not anywhere. And there's, oh man, some dude is just standing in the electrical aisle. He's got a dog with him, and all he's doing is looking at his phone. He's not shopping or anything, and he's just hanging out in the electrical aisle. I had to ask him to move 3 times when I was looking for stuff, and his dog is a little bit, yeah, I don't know what is going on there. All right, so then, yeah, I couldn't find the connector between the meter box and the breaker panel. I need to buy a 200 amp main breaker panel also. They did have that, and I did find it, so that was good. So now the breaker panel, then inside I need 2 100 amp breakers, and according to their website last night, they had them aisle 43 bay 12, whatever it was. Look everywhere, they did not have the 100 amp breakers. So an employee walked past, and I'm like, I'm looking for 100 amp breakers to go in this this breaker box that was already in my cart. And they're like, I don't do electrical. We generally don't do electrical advice because that can get dangerous. I'm like, okay, but I just your website says you've got these breakers. I just want to find them. And they're like, I'm sorry, I can't help you out with that. All right, great. All right, so I needed the 2 100 amp breakers. One of the 100 amp breakers, that's going into my house. My house has a 100 amp panel That will be a sub panel, and then all the wiring and stuff is done inside the house. So all I need was the main outdoor 200 amp breaker box and the 100 amp breaker to go into the house. The other 100 amp breaker, I need to run wire from the 200 amp out to the storage shed. So I need about 85 feet of wire also. That is cut to length, I guess. And it's ask an associate for assistance and they'll cut it for you. And that stuff ain't cheap. That's like, it's $4 a foot. I think that's what it was at the other store. It wasn't marked here, and that's what it was on their website. Anyway, no associate to come help me out. And then the grounding rods, I found the grounding rods, but you've need the wire. The 200 amp main box needs a grounding rod, 5/8 inch, 8 feet, and then each of the sub panels. So the sub panel in the house and the sub panel in the storage shed, they both need grounding rods. So they had the 3 grounding rods, but you got to connect them from each of the boxes to the rod, and then you need clamps for those. So I'm looking for they had the rods, and I'm looking for the clamps and the wire to connect them to the breaker boxes. Once again, it says they've got them. It tells you where they're at. Nowhere to be found. No employee anywhere to be found to help me out. So yeah, okay. I'm done. I'm done belly aching. I'm gonna head to Lowe's. Maybe they've got everything. They did not have I also need to buy a breaker box for the storage shed, and then I need breakers for that box. And then I want an RV panel that's already built that has a 30, a 50, and then 2 regular outlets for it. And Lowe's didn't have all of that stuff, so I don't know. But all right, I'm headed to Lowe's because Home Depot they don't care about do-it-yourselfers, I guess. They don't care about people, just lounging around in their electrical section with a dog getting in shopper's way. I don't know. Completely disappointed in Home Depot in Fort Smith. Let's go to Lowe's. Found my way to Lowe's, and I saw a Whataburger on the way here, so I might have to try that for lunch. I've only been to Whataburger twice. Drew took me both times, and yeah, so it's in the neighborhood. I might have to do that for lunch. But first, let's see if I can have some better luck getting everything I need for the electrical here at Lowe's. Because, yeah, as soon as we get that panel built for the electric company, then they can come out and do what they need to do, and then Drew can bury those lines, and we can get on with our lives. All right, Lowe's got my business. Home Depot did not. Let me find my receipt here. $1,131.54. Sorry, Home Depot, you lost out. I think I got everything except for conduit for the wire to the house that's going underneath the house. I'm not sure what conduit I'm going to use there, so I didn't do it yet. And yeah, you can see 10 feet lengths of conduit. I miss Boss Hog right now, man. This is a big vehicle, but yeah, Boss Hog, these are 10 feet poles. Boss Hog would have had no problem with that without it sticking into the front seat. I could have done it at an angle. And yeah, and Boss Hog holds like 3 times more stuff in the back, because these middle seats don't come out all the way unless you're really wanting to do it, but they will fold up. So there's I think it's like 6 feet from the back of the seats once they're folded up to the anyway. All right, it is, what time is it? It's already 2 o'clock, and I'm trying to get home by dark, so I'm gonna grab a quick burger. Maybe I'll find that Whataburger again, I have no idea. And then I gotta head to my new place, drop all this stuff off, and all right, I'll see you in a while. I have arrived at my destination. So I'm standing at the counter looking at the menu because they don't have the mushroom and Swiss anymore. That's like my favorite all-time burger is the mushroom and Swiss. And the only other 2 times I went to Whataburger, I got the mushroom and Swiss, but they don't do the mushroom and Swiss anymore. So I was looking at the menu for what I wanted to get instead of that, and the power went out. So they're closed. So I can't get a Whataburger anyway. And it looks like there's a Burger King across the street. They ain't got no lights on. So I think I'm stuck out here without power. So I'm just gonna head home, and Greenwood will have something for me to eat. Anyway, yeah, Whataburger lets me down. It's not their fault the power went out. All right, heading out. All right, I got here. It's 3:30-ish, I think. Time to unload, then I gotta head right back out to make it home by dark. You wanna see what $1,131.54 worth of electrical stuff looks like? Here we go. 9 10-foot lengths of 1 1/4 inch PVC 40 conduit. So that's from running the electrical cord from the house to this storage shed. I got 9 of these. There we go, 9 10 feet lengths of conduit. Those are about 20 bucks a piece, so that was 180 bucks. Now we got 3 copper grounding rods, and I think these were about 15 bucks a piece. Those are only 8 foot long. Now I got 85 feet of whatever, this will handle the 100 amp from the house out here to the storage shed. This was, I think, $375 per foot and 85 feet of that. So, all right, I got this. 1 trash can. We might use this to bury the water stuff. Or if not, I've got another trash can. 1 200 amp outdoor main breaker. I don't remember what this one was. I think this was 160 bucks. 45 or 50 feet of 6-gauge copper wire. This is to connect the grounding rods to the breaker boxes. I have 3 breaker boxes. I need 3 grounding rods, and I need enough of this to connect them. This is a 125 amp breaker box. This is the breaker box that's going to go here in the storage shed. This is where I will hook up the RV outlet to this breaker box. I'm also going to be running all my electric fencing out of this breaker box, and my baby chick raising. So I got the heat plates. In the summer they need fans and whatever else they need. So this will be put here in the storage shed, and that's why so this was, I don't remember, I think this one was 80 bucks. Then I got this is called a sweep, a conduit sweep, so it attaches to the other conduit, and that way it'll come down from the box into here, and then the ground, and that's, so you need one of these. All right, what else did I get? 100 amp breaker, I got 2 of these. So 2 100 amp breakers, they go in the main box. I'll have 1 100 amp breaker. It is going to my house. There's a 100 amp panel in the house. The other 100 amp breaker will be in the main box, and it'll be going underground out here in the storage shed to this one. So 2 100 amp breakers. What else we got in here? Yeah, this is the connection between the meter box and the main breaker. So you got to hook those together, and they got to be at least 6 inches apart. So yeah, we got that. I'll throw them in there. And I got another 50 amp breaker that'll go in the storage shed. So a 50 amp, I can run a 50 amp RV panel off that. They did not have the RV panel, so that's something else that's gonna cost me in the future. Oh, what do we got here? These are, oh yeah, these are the conduit connectors. So this goes in one box, you connect it, and it goes in the other box and you connect it. So that's what these are for. Then I got clamps for the grounding rods. So you run the wire from the breaker boxes to the grounding rods, and then you got to clamp them to the grounding rods. I got 3 of those. And it started raining harder, so that was pretty good timing. It is 3:45 and I'm headed home. So that's it for this video. What a day. And yesterday was a day. And I didn't get a nap yesterday. I'm not going to get a nap today. And I didn't get any lunch yet. So I'm just going to wait till I get home. And yeah, all right. But it's all worth it. And thank you for making this even possible. None of this would be possible without YouTube and all the helpers I've had, all the YouTube contributions and my members. My members got to take a sneak peek at my last video before I released it to the general public. I don't know if I'll do that with this one or not. But yeah, thank you to my members. Thanks for all the YouTube contributions, P.O. box, all kinds of great stuff. Thank you, thank you, thank you to everybody who's helped me out over the many years, and the hundreds of you out there that have pitched in and made my life so much better. I appreciate it. It's hard work. I'm working hard, and I'm getting there. Thank you. Take it easy, everybody.